A lot of y'all in the Gen X generation, you won't even look out for them.
Won't even look out for who, sis? That's not my damn car seat, all right? In my post-parenting years, after I done raised my kids already, I got a whole car seat in my dream vehicle that I bought with my own coin for my grandchild. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is what's really good with this Gen X slander and why millennials and Gen Z keep coming for us when we did not send for y'all, when I know good and damn well y'all got the memo that we with the shits.
Phenomenon. Coding.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Life's Deceit with me, your girl, Jen Simpson. How are you guys doing? How is your day, your afternoon, your night, wherever you are in the world? I hope that you guys are having an amazing day. Happy March. As I said, happy Women's Month. We are celebrating women all month long, guys. Guys, how do you like my hair? I did it myself. I added some braids and I wanted to do a new little style. So I tried something new. I hope you guys like it. Guys, I want to thank you guys again for continuing to support, show love, comment, engage. Thank you guys. Before we go into the video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let's talk about my hair. What do you guys think about it? You guys think it looks good? Does it look good? I hope so. Guys, today we have a special guest. Her name is Nikki Babb. She is an American-born Guyanese. She's an event host, comedian, social media personality, and she went viral on TikTok. Can you believe it? Viral. So we have an amazing woman coming here today to talk to us about the Guyanese culture, you know, the differences between the Indian Guyanese and the Black Guyanese, you know, the racial thing in the Black community, because yes, there is racism within the Black community amongst ourselves. We don't like to touch that topic because we don't like to admit that there is a colorism issue when it comes to Black people, not just in Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad, all over the world, even in different cultures and different races too. We're talking about parenting, breaking generational cycles. We're talking about growth. We're talking about believing in ourselves. We are talking about being authentic and believing in your dream and your higher purpose and your calling in life and doing the damn thing, having self-confidence. And another thing that we are going to dive into is how to deal with negative comments. When you see negative comments on social media, how do you deal with it? Are you the person that's trigger happy and you're just texting back and, you know, entertaining the negative comments? Or are you that person that just, you don't matter anyways, because I don't know you. I don't care what you have to say. I'm confident within myself, confident in my own skin. I love me and you cannot stop me from loving me. So guys, without further ado, let's welcome Vicky Babb.
Good.
How are you doing? How was your day today?
Oh, my day was good. I had a long overdue nail appointment. I got my nails.
Girl, those are pretty.
You know what? Even my nail tech, she was like, how come you're going so simple? I had black on my nails for like 2 months. And I was like, I wanted a whole, I just wanted something simple.
Yeah,
and before that, I hosted the award show. So I had like red Swarovski crystals. It was just a lot. And I was like, I said, I just want to calm it down for a little bit.
Yeah. I get into that most, and I want jewels and everything. That I'm just like, I just want something plain, simple.
Yeah.
You know.
So where are you? So you're in Canada?
I'm in Canada. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, nice.
Background Jamaican though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was something that really drew me to when I, at first.
Okay. Which one of my skits did you see first?
I've been following you for a while.
Oh, wow.
I can't, honestly, you're just contagious. I just want to call you contagious. You're contagious, like a breath of fresh air. You're bubbly, you're fun. I like your authenticness.
Oh, that's so dope.
Oh my
gosh.
Thank you. It's everything. It's everything.
Oh, that's so dope. Thank you so much.
before
It's
we dive in.
hard, especially, in this app, especially in social media. People want to
Yes,
kind of fit you into a box, and it can get frustrating too
yeah,
because I'd say all the time these followers ain't loyal.
girl,
Yesterday on Instagram and TikTok, my follower count went up and came right back down.
girl, girl.
And it's like, and I'm saying
You
to
know,
myself, you can't always, like, I'm not always going to say something that you agree with, right?
so when you said that, when I started doing podcasts, I was, boy, I mean, I did so afraid. I did afraid, you see? Like I was
Yeah.
scared. I was like, oh, people are gonna, what are they gonna say about me? They're gonna tear me down. They're gonna make comments about my hair. They're gonna talk about my makeup on. I can't do makeup, but I try to look at something from here and from here, from side to
Uh-huh.
side, right? So I was like, I can't go on video. So for a while I was behind the camera, just on the mic. And then I
Okay.
was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Why won't you go on the camera?" And I'm like, "Because I can't do it." Like
It's a
something
lot.
just kept. It's a lot, right?
It's a
And then when I
lot. Yeah.
started, I was focusing on, okay, I have to look good. Like I have to make
Mhm.
sure, because when them come with the comment, I'm gonna lick them back, and I'm like, "No, you're not gonna do that, girl." But then gradually, as time went on, I just literally like just slid right in.
Yeah,
I
you
no longer
became more
cared.
comfortable.
Yeah,
Hmm.
everything like kind of, it's like everything just fell off. I no longer
Yeah.
cared about what anybody had to say. Because
Hmm.
either way, even if you're doing good, they're gonna find something bad to say about you.
They're gonna find
They're gonna find
something
something.
to say, and it can just be you will wear yourself out trying
Yeah.
to keep up with, you know, the image that people have of you in their minds.
Yeah.
So it
And
is
and
what.
and
Hmm.
there's another part of it too. It's like when you actually look at the people that are leaving these comments and saying these things, what are you really doing? Because I had the courage to do it. I'm doing it. What are you
Right,
doing? Because
right.
if you have the time to sit and watch me and leave a
Hmm.
comment,
Yeah, yeah.
now I'm
I,
really looking at it sideways.
I saw someplace and they said it's actually become like it's like a sport,
Yeah.
right? So they notice these people when they leave negative comments, especially on the big blog platforms,
Right.
sometimes they'll reshare it. Like they don't care if the attention is good or bad, so long as they're getting attention, that's all they care about. And so they
Yeah.
know that the more egregious the comment, the greater the likelihood that the blog platforms are going to reshare it.
But
Especially,
you know why?
mm,
Negativity sells, right?
oh, of course, absolutely,
It's
absolutely,
it sells like absolutely nothing.
yeah,
And people crave for the negativity.
yeah,
They
yeah.
will sit there for hours and talk about, oh, I don't want anything to drain my energy. But you just but you literally just sat there and
Yeah,
watched negative videos and read
yeah.
all those disgusting comments about somebody.
Uh-huh.
But you don't want anything to drain your energy. You just drained your energy and wasted your time.
Yeah. It's very bad. I could say I've been on social media now for 2 years.
Has it been two
And
years?
the negative comments, I don't know. I think for me it was the timing of it all
Yeah.
because I went viral right after we were like in the tail end of the pandemic. The very
Yes.
first time I went viral. So the very first time I went viral was actually the end of 2020. And then that was the very first video that I noticed got traction. And then the second video for me that had a lot of traction, but I didn't know about it was, I think it was January of 21, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, people were dropping dead left and right.
Yeah.
The world was shut down. And for me, it was just, I got bigger problems than to care about what you're saying about me.
Yeah.
It was just to that point where I don't know. And then I'd lost my mom too, but I lost my mother in 2017.
Oh,
So
condolences.
even before I started doing the videos, and doing videos that did go viral, I had just gotten to a point of I didn't care. And I think that's the reason why I started doing these videos. Um, because I was able to release it. See what you just said?
Yep.
You know, you were worried about how you look and what people would say and stuff like that. There's just something that happens after, and I don't just want to say your mom, right? If you lose someone close to you just don't care anymore about what people have to say.
You're
And
right.
in that essence, it becomes sort of a blessing because it frees you, you
Yes.
know? It allows you to just release your inhibitions. And I don't know if you've ever seen that movie with Will Smith, Collateral Beauty.
Yes.
That's basically that happens in real life.
It's
It's
true.
like when someone dies, you have to go through such an intense grieving period that something good is going to come from it. Like you're going to discover the meaning of life when you come out on the other side, right?
Yeah.
And so to me, I was just like, I lost my mom. What y'all gonna say to me? It's
It's
nothing.
it's so funny you
It's
said
nothing
that
you can
because I've
say to me.
actually
Like I
never
lost my mother.
I've never heard anybody break it down the way you did it because my grandma's the one that raised me when my mom left me when I was a baby
Uh-huh.
to migrate to Canada, right? So my grandma gave me that nurturing part of my life.
Okay.
And I'm also an author. So the first book I wrote, Commitment to a
Um.
Deceitful Liar, was about being raised in a West Indian home,
Okay.
migrating to Canada and dealing with the transition,
Uh-huh.
being raped by my uncle, how the family
Mm-hmm.
dealt with it culturally,
Mm-hmm.
and being raised by a step parent and how, the dynamics of it. Because people don't realize that culturally, we have a
Mm.
whole difference of what we're raised on.
Yes.
It's not just about, oh, you're black, it's just culture. This is what we know, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
naturally they're gonna pass it on to their children. Their children's gonna carry it,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't tend to practice unlearning to relearn, right? And
Mm-hmm.
when I wrote the book, I held on to a lot. Like I was afraid. Like I didn't want my grandma to feel away. But when she passed away,
Yeah.
it was like one piece of weight came off of me. Like I felt like I did not care what anybody had to say about me.
Yeah.
This was I did a whole pivot. And right after my grandma passed away, one of my closest friends passed away from cancer.
Oh wow.
And that was a different type of pivot
Oh
because
wow.
it was almost like, when you have a friend and they keep speaking things into you saying you're born for greatness, just do it. What are you
Mm,
afraid of? When she passed
mm,
away, I said,
mm.
ain't nobody can tell me nothing. I don't care what you say. You could tell me you don't
Yeah.
like my eyeballs. You can tell me you don't like the way that I speak. You could tell me that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm just here to live my life for me and love
Yeah.
me. You don't love me, you don't like me. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
There's the
matter.
door. Don't say nothing to me. See me on social media and
Yeah.
miss me. You could keep scrolling.
Yeah.
So
That's how I feel about it.
yeah,
That's
and, your video that I saw when you were talking about Guyana,
okay.
Guyanese people, that video, like I heard you, I
Mm-hmm.
listened to you, and I understood you.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a difference. People just listen to respond.
Yeah.
They don't listen to
Yeah.
hear and understand what you're saying. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you don't agree, go do your research and find out because you're
Yeah.
attacking without knowing, right? You never
Right.
experienced it. So who are you to judge? And
Right.
when I read the comments and I saw some of the comments
Mm-hmm.
and then I seen the way that you responded, you
because
like, you like, you
because
motivated me like, girl.
because these people, they don't know you for truth, right? And
Yeah.
the way I feel, I know who I am. And that's why I have to, you see, from the day I left that comment, I have not been back to those comments
Right.
because I do protect my energy at the same time. So I read the comments initially when they sent me the request to collaborate. And once I could see where it was going, and especially with me responding, it's like feeding a snake. So I
Yeah.
knew there were going to be more comments behind it. But I was like, before I go, let me say this, and I'm done with it. Like, Once that clicks in my mind that I'm done with it, I'm finished with it.
It was like you just did a acapella and you just dropped the mic, and I was like, damn girl, I love the way you just dropped the mic and you didn't pick it back up. Because a lot of times people will see the negative comments, they'll respond and they'll go like, let me ask you a question. You see the negative comment. Okay, you responded once.
Right.
Why did you go back to the page to see what else was coming?
Right. For me, it depends, because one of the girls who was sitting next to me or across from me, she's also Guyanese. Her name is Dutch Banks. Yeah. And I think she's I don't know if she's a dancer. I know the girl got a bad shape. She's a bad sweet girl. That much I know, right? And I know she models, but I don't know what she does like outside of that. So I think she's just so used to getting positive reactions and positive comments. Girl, she blew up my inbox and she was like, oh my God, they're attacking us. And I said, stop reading the comments.
Yeah.
Stop, because you can't control the way other people, you can't, you would really drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
And really a lot of these people, for me especially, like I said, I know myself. I know who I am. One thing I know for a fact is if they saw me in person, they would not have that energy.
No, they wouldn't. They would be coming up to you saying they love you.
They would never come in my face and say the things that they say. And I have a saying, and it's everybody got heart behind a keyboard. Yes. You feel safe typing in your phone because you don't feel seen. Regardless, and that's why a lot of them comment from troll pages, right?
Yeah.
And I know to myself, a lot of these people are not, let's not even on the same intellectual level as I am, but more importantly, they're not on the same emotional level that I am. A lot of people lack emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you give them that power over you, and just me being between Instagram and TikTok, I've seen people try to come at me different ways, which tells me they have studied my platform and they realize there's not too much that makes me tick. Right. So they're trying different strategies to get a reaction out of me. And in my mind, I'm saying to myself, you don't even know me well enough to push my buttons, right? So whatever it is you think about me or feel about me based on this little 90-second reel or what, that's not my concern.
Right.
So even I know you've seen this big thing with the one who just did the big 50-part TikTok series, and she went mega viral.
Oh my God.
And she was just on a talk show, and Charlemagne said something about her big back. Yeah. Listen, I got a big back and I thought it was funny.
Me got big back too. We all have big back. Like girl.
I'm like, what? I laughed so hard when he said that.
Yeah.
Because we've all been there, right? And he was just being funny. And to me, for her to get on the talk show and say, that really hurt my feelings. Now they really about to hurt your feelings.
Exactly.
Because you let it be known, this is what hurts your feelings.
And you can't let them know that.
Yeah, you have to be smarter than that. That's number one. And you have to know that any amount of fame, like, whether it's social media fame or, really Hollywood fame or whatever, it's not all going to be good.
It's true. And you know what? If you're on social media,
yeah,
you're up for grabs by anything.
You are up for grabs, honey. You have to so back to your point, which you just said, that you were so concerned about how you would present. For me personally, I had to know to myself that I had to heal up and I had to armor up to be able to take whatever was going to be thrown at me. So a lot of people are on such a quest for social media fame. Like, social media fame has become an addiction. Yes. And people are doing and saying anything to get it, right? But they just want what comes with it. They just want, they want to go viral. They want all the followers. They want the brand deals.
Yep.
Everything is balanced. Everything has good and bad. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't get upset because he quote unquote said you had a big back, because it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse,
Gonna get
and the
worse.
more notoriety she gets, oh, forget about it. I already know just from doing stand up. Me personally, when I do my stand up comedy sets, I don't poke fun at people. That's just not my style of comedy, right? I'm
Yeah.
more into relatable topics. When I do stand up sets, when I host events, my entertainment style is very inclusive. So I'll do something for the men, I'll do something for the women, I'll do something for everybody. But there are some comedians where their stand up, their style is to poke fun at people.
Right.
Somebody's about to make a whole set off of her. I promise you.
Yeah, they are.
And they're not gonna apologize.
No, they're not. They're not gonna apologize. And listen. I remember I
Yeah.
said my partner said to me, he's like, if you're going into this, you're gonna have to be able to handle things, Jen. Jen, you're ready.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I am, because I'm healed. I took the time to heal and do the
Yeah.
work
You
that I need
have
to
to
do on the
take the
inside.
time to heal.
Anything I was insecure about, it
Yeah.
gone, because nobody can come to me and make fun of me about the things that I already healed
Yeah.
from. And I love myself the way that I am. And I
Yeah.
remember the other day I had a podcast where I was talking about, being molested and stuff like that. And,
Mm-hmm.
some people, it might sound wrong. Some people don't even remember the versions of themselves from 20 years ago because they blocked it out of their mind. Some
Yeah.
people do things and they're naive to it. Like, you don't remember that you did it.
Yeah.
And somebody wrote a comment and you could tell that it was a fake page. And I showed it to him and he's like, Jen, you don't need to say nothing. And I'm like, no, because I'm confident in myself and the message that I delivered, and it doesn't shake me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does not shake me at all.
I have I want to say back in January, I had to turn off right as of right now, all of my notifications in my apps are turned off. Instagram, Messenger, TikTok, Facebook, and it has been the most peaceful.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
It has been so peaceful because with the notifications on, although I want to engage, it's like leaving the door open for people
Right.
to just walk in, right?
Yep.
Whereas now I do read my notifications, but the way both apps, my biggest apps, Instagram and TikTok, they show you the thumbnail of the video. So, for instance, the one with the Guyanese racism, the minute I see a notification, I delete it. I don't even read it, right?
You don't give it no energy.
Right, I don't give it any energy. And I feel bad because it might be a good comment. But because I don't know, and especially because I said to myself, I'm blocking it out altogether, I just have to delete it. There's another post. Oh my God, these people have been coming for me for weeks. And the funny thing, like I said, is I left this comment and it was a joke. And it wasn't my video, it wasn't my page, it wasn't my platform. Just me scrolling, and I kind of have to remember that I have a little bit of social media fame. So I'm not big.
You have a lot of social media fame, about a little bit. Girl, you have a lot.
I have to be mindful when I'm commenting on these platforms, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And to me, it was a joke, but it was a witty joke and whatever. Girl, these people have been coming for me. And the last time I responded to it, it was as if to say, y'all still talking about this? Like, I'm so done with it. And that was the biggest mistake. Because once they saw I came back to respond, just like you said, forget about it. And so the last time I commented, I was like, look, thanks for the laughs. Y'all be blessed, da da da. And so the responses have slowed down, but I'm still seeing the thumbnail notifications, and I'm just clearing it out.
Yeah, because people are still seeing it.
Yeah, I'm so done with this.
Yeah, done with it. Ignore it. Don't even entertain it at all.
And I tell people all the time, the internet is not a safe space.
It's not.
It's not a safe space. If you're going to come here to air your dirty laundry, you better be prepared for, again, the good, the bad, the backlash, the ugly. Because if you're not healed from it, it's going to set you off.
Exactly.
So anything that I speak on, not only most of the times, 90% of the times, I'm speaking from an objective point of view. So I'll speak on a topic that I have experience with without giving specific details, right? And then there are times when I am speaking from a personal reference point, like the video I just put up. I think I just put it up Saturday, dating a master manipulator.
Yeah.
Girl, that man nearly sent me to the madhouse. You hear me? Nearly sent me to the madhouse. I thought I was running mad dealing with this man. There's no way I would have talked about that immediately after it happened.
There's no way.
There's
You have
no
to
way. So the fact that it's funny to me now, like it was so bad. He said that was after I broke up with him was the very first time I went to therapy.
Wow. Like, what? That he did a number.
He did a number. That's how bad it was. And that's why I tried to, with this whole, the Risa Tisa, I said, there's nothing she can teach me.
Nothing. And that's the thing. Like, women are on social media listening to it. No.
She can teach me, not to say I don't sympathize with her, because they're saying, oh, she had the guts to show her story. I said, she's basically saying she stayed with this man and she had to find proof.
Yeah.
I didn't have to find proof.
I didn't
have to find proof. All I knew is that just anytime 1 and 1 equaled 5 when I was dealing with him, I would start getting a pain in my head.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm like, this is not good.
No. And it's not good for other women who are unhealed to be listening to her. You can't give advice to people if you're speaking from an unhealed standpoint.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You're
and if you knew that you didn't want people to start judging you and picking at you, social media is not the right place, because there's so many people that are coming, judgmental, hateful people, people that are still trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah.
Social media wasn't the right place.
I don't like to, and I'm very serious when I say I don't like to attack other people. Yeah. And I especially do not like to tear down other women. Mm-hmm. So the first time I spoke about it, it was me really being humorous, right? Because my best friend looked at all 50 parts, girl.
I couldn't keep up. I was like, I can't.
She looked at all 50 parts and she was trying to get me to look at it. So I was just making a joke, like, how I didn't even look at this thing and I know so much about what's going on, right? And even when she was telling me about it, I was not interested, and now I had to go in further to explain. And some girl followed me. And the only reason I remember is because she ended up getting into it with one of my other followers. So what a lot of people don't realize is, because I relate so much not only to the Guyanese community, but to the Caribbean community, they will defend me no matter what. Right. I don't care what I post, they don't unfollow me. They're like, look, she's for us. She has her good days, she has her bad days, but it's mostly good days, and we're here to stay. Right. So they're not going to tolerate any new follower coming on my profile and attacking me. Yeah. So one of my followers went for her neck, and she was like, that's why I unfollowed you. I said, well, how about I lock the door and bolt it behind you with a nice, good block button? Because my page is public, so you're not going to keep coming on my page, right? And so she basically said, the first time you brought it up, you were saying that she was lying. I never said she was lying. I said she better not be lying.
Yeah, right? That's two different things.
That's two different things. Because it's happened so much. Like I said, these people are on such a quest for social media fame that you don't know what to believe. They're making up all kind of stories.
It's true. You'll be surprised. Yeah. Huh? You'll be surprised how many they crave for the clout that they will make up a story to make it seem like. Yeah. I don't understand.
Somebody even said they wouldn't be surprised if her and the guy were in on it together. Right. So it's because it's happened. Right. And so the girl who unfollowed me, she goes, and now you're coming in here talking about protecting your energy and trauma. That's because comprehension is at an all-time low. I shouldn't have to explain and break down the reason why I don't want to listen to her is because she's still talking from a broken place.
Yeah.
It's not my speed. Like that's just what it is. You know? So that's why when I told my story, to me it was just trying to encourage women to say, listen, you have to, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right.
Right.
You have to trust what your spirit is telling you.
Because our spirit and intuition,
your spirit and intuition does not lie.
Always and it's right unless you're unhealed and you're being triggered, then your spirit will lie to you. But if you're healed, your intuition will not lie to you. You'll know.
So here's this, right? And I'm probably, since I looking a little cute, I might make a video about it tonight.
You look cute, yes.
It occurred to me because you try to discern. And I've noticed on that particular video on Instagram and TikTok, one, no men have commented, and two, no one has tried to clown me, right? Because I spoke on trusting my intuition, following it, and I ended up being right. Most people would say, why would you break up with him without any proof, right? So you have to learn the difference between your intuition and when you truly are being paranoid and insecure.
Yep.
So intuition is when you sit down minding your business, you're drinking your little Marby and your black cake, and you ain't even studying nothing, and it comes to you. Or it comes to you in your dream. You're not even suspecting that your partner is cheating, and out the blue, you have a dream.
You touch a topic,
You understand what I'm saying? Huh?
You touch on next topic, the spirit of discernment. You see how you said dream?
The
spirit of discernment. You see when you're really connected to your spirit?
Yeah.
You will dream things. I could tell you that from experience. I've dreamt my boyfriend cheating on me with a girl, and I told him X, Y, and Z how the place look, where I'm doing. He's like, no, sir, yeah, I'll be a woman. I said, I'll be a woman, your backside. Yeah. The spirit of discernment now gonna lie to me. Let's see you. And he's like, no, sir, yeah, I'll be a woman. I said, listen, you see when you're connected with God and you're letting God flow and move in you, you will know.
And that's why I opened the video the way that I did, because when you in real life court, they say innocent until proven guilty. When you get downloads in your dreams, or most people can actually see visions, that's God showing you what has happened already or is about to happen, and he's warning you. You understand what I'm saying? Being paranoid and insecure is when you're actively looking for something. You're actively trying to find something. You're actively going through the phones. You're actively looking for something. That's paranoid and insecure. But when you're not, and it just comes to you, that same guy that I was talking about, I had even before then, I think that was part of the dream that made me start. I mean, that was part of the reason why I started paying attention to him. I had a dream that he was making love to another woman. Like the woman was on top of him, and somehow I was in the middle of them. My spirit ended up in between them.
You see how you got it? You see how you got it?
And the way I woke up looking at my pillow like, what the hell? And that was the furthest thing from my mind. Like, that man gave me so much attention and so much love. And it was right around the time I had that dream and never brought it to his attention that he started acting strippity. So that's just it for me. Like I said, I'm a grown woman, so I pay attention. I know.
You said something when you're mature, mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Because when I got the dream and I asked the questions, no, nothing like that. Listen, me tell you something. God never stopped showing me the dreams, eh?
Yeah.
God, and listen, like when I say the dreams in plain sight, and then he would make it would be like this. Let me give you an example. Okay, I'm gonna go on the road to go deal with something, right? I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the time. All right, he soon come. I have to laugh now when I think about it. And I'm sitting there and I don't know, I already feel something inside my spirit already.
Mm-hmm.
But now the phone called me. His phone called me. No, tell her that you're with me. Tell her that you're with me. And I said, I was like, no. Oh my God, why you do this to me? And he was like, I gave you all those dreams.
Yeah, I gave you all those
and
dreams.
You knew.
Yeah.
You choose to ignore it. Now I need to really protect you.
Yeah.
Because you're not paying attention. You're not listening.
Absolutely.
So God will put it in plain sight. And
yeah.
some people are still asking, well, this can't be God. He would never do that to me. It's there. God will give it to you in plain sight.
It's there.
Don't ignore it. Because now we're causing ourselves more pain for no reason.
For no reason. I don't even know how to describe, because darling, when I tell you, I love that man bad. I didn't even give any
was he Guyanese?
Huh? No, I was just about to say, so like you read my mind. He was Jamaican.
You know what's funny? That tricked me because I knew he was Jamaican. I just wanted you to say he was Jamaican.
He was Jamaican.
Yep.
He was Jamaican, and he was so charismatic. You know, he said all the right things, he did all the right things, he checked off all the boxes. But all I know is that every time that man told me he was going to spend time with his niece, I would become so enraged, and I didn't know why, right? And even just for him looking me in my face, and he would call me, and I could hear her in the background. And when I asked him, I would say where, because I knew his real niece didn't live where we live. And I said, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm with my niece. And I said, oh, she came to visit again? So it wasn't just me he was being disrespectful towards. He was being disrespectful towards her too, because he calling me in her presence, right? And so the last time when I finally ended it, I didn't even care. The way I cussed him, I felt like I was running mad. The way it just came out, I cussed him for filth, for Guyanese to say, for breakfast, tea, and dinner, or breakfast, tea, breakfast. I cussed him dirty and stink. And he, oh, you so crazy. I can't take this anymore. And I said, what, you thought that cuss was for you to act right? I said, no, that cuss is because we done. Like, we finished. It's done.
Facts.
This, like I said, had to be in 2014, 2015. He didn't get married until 2021. And all the time he called and begged, I would not get back with him, because all I knew, I didn't have proof, but I just knew I didn't trust him.
Yeah.
And when you see, I saw her name on Facebook, the first thing I said, that's a fucked up name. Like, I said, I hope he have a nickname for her. And my whole body just went, I got goosebumps. And I said, oh, this is my niece. Yeah. Because for a name like that, people would probably call her Niecy. But for him, he called her, because for me, he used to call me Dumpling. He used to say, oh, you're my dumpling. So he had to do something cute for her that came from her name. So he called her my niece. And my guess is she was the only one who didn't ask any questions. She didn't clarify. She didn't ask him nothing.
She didn't ask why you're calling me my niece.
Right. Because she probably thought it was cute, not realizing there was a nefarious reason behind it, you know? Right. And even to this day, like I said, I never met that woman, and I'm just like, I know he does have her feeling like she running mad, you know? Because there's no way he's changed. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. So I just think experience and wisdom are worth its weight in gold. And it can't, and I don't have to prove that to anybody.
No. You don't. You just know.
Yeah, when you know, and that's it.
You know. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know. And it's not
Yeah.
accusations. When you know, and that has to go with spirituality.
Yes.
Nobody can tell me anything about that. I know what it is.
Yeah.
It may not come out now, but God already showed me.
Mm-hmm.
And it may come out and it might drive me real mad. I'm not go mad.
Right.
I'm not mad.
I'm not going mad. Could you imagine how you probably scared your ex when you used to be telling him about those dreams? But all he knew is that you didn't have proof. So he didn't have to confess because you didn't have any proof.
Because me not cheap on you, man. You get? And he would laugh about it after. He'd be like, "Boy, gotta really love you, know? You're spiritual, you know? Yeah, you think? You think?
Yeah.
You know, right?
You know.
When you were talking about Guyana and you decided to collaborate with them, they reached out to you about that specific topic, or was it just?
So the topic was gatekeeping Caribbean culture. So we did that podcast in September of 2023.
Oh, but it's just coming out now.
I actually thought they nixed it, but what he said to me was that they first released it to their subscribers, and now they were putting it out on the public platform. So he was like, "No, we posted this 2 months ago." So in September 2023, and we did it maybe like September 15th. So it was like right after Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So it was after Labor Day weekend. It was after I want to say is it Notting Hill or Nottingham Carnival?
Okay.
When they were saying, like the residents and stuff were complaining, or people who go to the carnival. So one of the girls on the show, she went viral because she was saying, we need to protect Caribbean Carnival at all costs. So they wanted to reached out to influencers with Caribbean influencers to speak on the topic. So they just had a few talking points, and that's how we got into that topic.
Okay. Now, you touched on that Guyanese thing, and a lot of people were upset because they don't agree. But I think, you're an artist.
Right.
And anybody who's doing podcasts, stand-up comedy, writing books, we're artists.
Right.
And when you have an assignment, you have to cause a disturbance sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you have to disturb some people who think that they're trying to, trick us, like we don't know what's really going on in the culture and all these things. And that's what you did. You disturbed a lot of people who were okay with making it seem like Black people weren't in Guyana.
Right.
Because you're not the first. So my fiance's brother, they're Jamaican, but his brother lives in Guyana right now with his partner.
Okay.
And he loves Guyana. Everything is Guyana this, Guyana that. Did you know Guyana this and that? We're like, oh my gosh, you might as well have been born Guyanese because you talk about Jamaica like that. And one of the things he touched on, he said, the only reason why, I guess you can call them the brown Guyanese or the fairer skinned ones. They only
we call them Indo-Guyanese.
Okay, Indo-Guyanese. Let me say it correct before you guys come cuss me out. The Indo-Guyanese.
I would never do that, but I think I'm almost sure that's the politically correct term, because from what I hear, they don't like being called Kuli.
Oh, so, they don't like me. I was gonna say Kuli, but I pulled back and I said, don't call them Kuli.
Yeah, but that was only something I only learned recently, and when I say recently, in my adulthood.
Yeah.
So the politically correct term is Indo-Guyanese.
Indo-Guyanese. Okay, I learned something tonight too.
Yeah. And so the Indians are Indo-Guyanese, and then the Black people are Afro-Guyanese.
Afro-Guyanese. Okay. Okay, Afro-Guyanese. Wow. I learned something tonight for real. So he mentioned something that most of the times the only reason why they speak to him is because he's a foreigner. Because he's dark skinned, right? He's always talking about the racism that goes on there. So when I saw your video, I was like, I heard about this years ago, but I've never visited Guyana to know for myself, right?
Yeah.
But I do notice, like I have a friend that's Guyanese, but Indo-Guyanese, and you'll hear his partner say like, "Oh no, he has Spanish and Chinese and this in his blood. He doesn't look Black, does he?" And I'm like, that is a Black man, but okay. It's almost like you're trying to separate the fact that he's separate him from the black Guyanese.
Right. Yeah.
So when you touch that,
So for me, I'm saying to myself, it isn't something I've ever personally experienced,
yeah,
but I have for like my best friend. Her mom is Indian and her father is black.
okay.
And her mother was ostracized for marrying a black man. And they're Guyanese.
Yeah.
So I know people who have lived through it, who are products of it. And she always speaks on how she and her siblings are treated differently from the Indian part of the family. So they're really ostracized, right?
Yeah.
And what I said in the podcast is, this is what my mother told me. Like, she said the last time she visited Guyana before she passed away, she wanted to know why the black men, they weren't even marrying, I can't remember if it was the Indian or the Amerindians. The black men were marrying the Amerindian women. And she being an elder, she was like, what's going on? Why aren't the black men marrying the black women? And the black women, they party too much. It's the same thing like the States. It's just instead of the other race being white, they're either Indo or Amerindian. So I think no matter where you go in every culture, there's going to be a caste system. They're going to create it one way or another.
It's true, because my partner, he has 3 brothers, and they all look different. Him and his youngest brother, who's 12, they're the same complexion.
Okay.
The older and the middle one are darker skin. So there was this controversy where the father was questioning if it was really his child, and his family is very high color. So you'll see them treat the children differently, right? And we've both came to this conclusion, and we said, if the children are going to be treated differently, if you're going to treat my kids differently because they're fairer skin, I don't want you in their life.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to separate, and we're not going to cause confusion, and we're not going to cause hate, and we're not going to cause self-hate. They are one. Doesn't matter what skin color they are. Especially Jamaican culture, we go through it a lot too. You see it all the time.
With the brownings.
Yes, with the brownings. And it's funny because I have to tell you, I've never told anybody this, but I have to share it with you. My partner's gonna be like, where I share it for? I have to share it. So when I went to Jamaica, I had a chemical burn. I used something on my face that burnt my face so bad. Like it looked like the sun you know what it looked like for real? It looked like I was bleaching. And when you stop use the bleaching cream and your skin just get black. That's what it looked like. So his grandmother said to me, Janelle, are you that? And she's like, no man, what you do to your skin? Your skin is brown and pretty, man. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you had to say it like that? And I felt so embarrassed. I'm like, I don't understand. What did she say? Then Leia's like, my daughter Leia, she's like, Mommy, you're beautiful. What is she talking about? But you still see that.
Yeah, I've heard it's really bad in Jamaica. Like
it is.
They treat dark-skinned Jamaicans really badly.
Yeah, they do.
And everybody's black, and it's crazy.
It's crazy. It doesn't matter what shade you are.
Yeah.
You listen, when we all walk somewhere, all they see is black. Them not say nothing. They don't see, okay, maybe that one's mixed with something. Maybe that one's that. They don't see that. We're black.
Yeah.
Right? And I find that we focus so much on the white racism, but not the racism within our own community and how we treat each other.
Yeah.
Like there's still this light skin against dark skin foolery. It's foolery. That's all I want to call it, is foolery.
Yeah.
Like if I see a beautiful woman and I'm walking, I will smile at her and then I'll say, girl, you look so beautiful. And she'll like, that makes them feel good. Because another sister is acknowledging your beauty. And when they look back and they say, oh, thank you, girl. That's what we're supposed to do as sisters. You're there standing up giving cut-eye for what reason? Listen, appreciate each other. We all look different. We come in different shapes, different size. Our features are different. Why are we allowing people to instill this hate in us?
Yeah.
And I know it's from childhood and, it's from slavery days. They said, the segregation, but how do we get better?
It's so much. There's so many different categories. Even like I said, as a plus size woman, people always want you to feel about yourself the way they feel about you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't feel that way, it enrages them because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? So
Right.
they can look at you and see something wrong with you, but what they see more than anything else is your confidence in yourself. And in their minds, they're like, I don't think you're pretty, so why are you so confident? So now they have to work overtime to
Try to break
make
you down.
you to try to break you down,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so for me, as a plus size woman, it's always very comical to me when people try to come for my weight, because my whole thing is, if you only know how much I love my curves, you would know
Right?
this is a waste of time. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
But it's
it's
something about them too, because if you can spend time to try to make me hate me, there's no way
hmm
you love yourself.
yeah. There's
There's no
no
way you
way.
love yourself because you're wasting your time trying to get me to hate myself. For what reason? Let
Yeah.
me know why.
Yeah, because what people will never admit out loud is that, again, like I said, more than them being envious of your looks and your hair and your nice car and your nice house, they're
Mhm.
envious of your confidence.
Yeah,
And because they don't have that confidence, and it baffles them, it's confusing to them.
it's true. It is
So
really confusing to them.
yeah.
Because I'll give you a perfect example. Like you said before, you have a little bit of. You don't have a little bit of fame. You have a lot. You
Oh, thank
you
you.
have become a pillar in the earth for other
Oh,
women and people. You make
thank
people
you.
laugh. That's a legacy in itself, to be able to make people laugh and feel good. And
Yeah.
and people go to your page just to watch one of your videos, just to bring their mood up, their energy, make them feel vibrant about who they are, and good in their skin. That
Yeah.
girl is that's an honor. Like, really,
Uh,
truly, right?
thank
When I
you.
watch your
Thank
videos, I'm at work and I'm there. And I know they're listening. Right? They're like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing." I'm dying today when I watched your video about when the toxic
The
when the
toxic
toxic
family.
family member
Listen,
died.
that
I
is
was,
a true to God story that really happened.
I was
But
like,
I just had, and when I tell you when it really happened in my family, I felt like I needed an oxygen tank. I could not breathe the way, because I was telling, who was I telling? Was it my best friend? I was telling somebody, I was telling today because they called me about it. And I said, my mama was such a daddy's girl. She like, girl, you couldn't tell this woman nothing about her father, how much she
yeah,
loved him. And but she wasn't light skinned, but she had a nice brown caramel complexion. She had
complexion.
a nice shape. Like, she was a real sweet girl, right? Real pretty. And she was the one who looked most like him. So she was like his favorite, but her other siblings, he didn't care for them too much. And when I say that, I mean he used to discipline them very harshly. So
Mm-hmm.
when I think he was in a nursing home or something like that, and she's saying we were at my aunt's house, and she said, we got to start thinking about what we're gonna do when Daddy dies, and we got to start collecting money monthly to put us up. My uncle said, I don't want to hear nothing when he dead, because he used to tear my ass with licks. And when he dead,
Oh,
y'all don't call me, because I gonna be the first one to say, all in favor of fire. Girl, I fell out of my seat. My mother got so mad. She was like, Vicky, get the coat, let's go. They're too stupid. When I say you had to be there, and God bless the dead, because they've all passed on now. My mom,
I
my
can picture
uncle,
already.
my
Mhm.
grandfather, my aunt's house, who we were at. But it was just such a memory. And do you know, from that one scenario, I've pulled so many skit ideas from that one scenario that night. Just
when I saw it, I was like, say it's true, because I'm not gonna call anyone. When somebody passed in our family, listen, the toxic family member has to pass away, so that we can recycle and start doing things differently. Because the older generation always tries to stick to the toxicness when the young people are trying to break that cycle.
Yeah.
We're trying to break that curse, man. Let it die. But they will not let it die, so they have to go with it.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, I was like, oh my Lord. I remember some people were dancing. Some people were like, yes, I full-time them gone now. And
Girl,
like, oh my
somebody inboxed me and she said her father just died. And when I looked, because when she inboxed me, she didn't give any context. So I had to scroll through, and she didn't come in as a request. She came into my general inbox.
Yeah.
So I knew I had communicated with her in the past. So I had to scroll through the conversation to kind of jar my memory. And she had messaged me back when I first, maybe back in 2022, I have to check. And she said she had been looking for my page. She said, because like you said, she saw one of my videos and she was laughing so hard, but no one knew who I was. So she's been following me ever since.
Yeah.
And she said when she saw, because I said, what were you talking about? And she sent me the video. She said, my father just died and his funeral is this weekend and my mother is the only one sad. And I'm posting this video to my page.
And some people might take it like, some people might be offended, but it's not like we're laughing at the dead or saying, yes, people just die. It's just an inside joke that we understand.
Yeah.
Right? That the seasons have to change. And if their season has ended, and now it's a new one.
That's why I'm always so intentional with my captions. Yeah. Although I already know if most people, when I see the repost, they also take the caption, and I'm very happy for that, right?
Yes.
That's why I had to say, there's some of these older generations, they refuse to be held accountable. And, just like you said, the toxicity has to go. It has to die. And maybe I will be better as ancestors, because you weren't very good. You weren't very good here in this 3D realm.
I've definitely held my mom accountable, but I'm giving her grace. But I'm still holding you accountable, because I still expect you to do better.
Yeah.
I'm your example, and you can do better. Until you do that,
it's important.
Yeah.
Like my biggest video to date that got 2 million views on TikTok, 1 million views on Instagram, was talking about that adult child parent dynamic. And so again, I always speak objectively. I do have 2 adult children. My relationship with one is better than my relationship with the other. My relationship with the other at this moment in time is completely non-existent, right? I really had to sever ties for my own safety, pretty much.
Right.
But so I speak from the perspective of a parent of adult children. Mm-hmm. And I also speak from the perspective of having once been an adult child, and how I had to learn to give my own mother grace.
Yeah.
And because my fear was exactly what has now happened with my oldest daughter, in that I didn't want my children to see me not giving my mother grace, because children repeat what they see.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I never wanted to be thrown back in my face. Well, you didn't, so why should I? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I try to tell adult children who are having a very difficult time giving their parents grace. And especially now with social media, they're coming to social media to find solace and to trauma bond with other people who are going through the same things. And so I try to interject when I can and try to let them know, you will reap what you sow.
Exactly. It's
so
true.
If you are constantly, holding a grudge with your parents, and you don't think your children are picking up on that, they're going to take their cues from you in that, well, I see how she dealt with her mother and she didn't give her mother grace, so why should I give her grace?
Yep, it's
So
true.
you want to do it for the own sanctity of your own relationship with your children.
Yeah, even with my kids, like I let them experience my mom for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And when my son asked mommy, why aren't you talking to your mom? I explained to him why.
Right.
And I never tried to separate them from my mother at all.
Mm-hmm.
They made that decision on their own, being 9 and 13. People are like, oh, they're too young to make a decision. No, I asked them, do you want to go see grandma? No. Why don't you want to go see grandma? And they literally break it down for me in a way where I'm like, oh my gosh, that's heartbreaking.
Wow.
And it doesn't bother them because they're like, Mom, we just don't want to be around that.
Wow. How old are they?
13 and 9.
Oh, okay. See, well,
because
they've
seen that side of her, right?
Pardon?
They've seen that side of her and they don't like it. So I'm okay with them now saying, well, Mom, I don't want to go.
Right.
And I'm not going to force them, right? You have to become that grandmother that they want you to be.
Yeah.
And you're not that. So now they don't. And listen, my kids, you can't buy them out. So, you know, some kids, you can buy them out. You get them some money. You buy them what they want for Christmas and they'll take it and be like, oh, grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. They ain't like that at all.
Yeah. That, I commend you for that, because many people are not able to be objective and to separate. Like, they allow their ego to get in the way. Yeah. Right. So it's always important to allow children to make that decision for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's something I always did with my girls, regardless of how contentious my relationship with my own mother was.
Phenomenal. Colding.